Patricia Oliver. Patricia has been working night and day on this, and she has actually made some great progress in regards to those of you who have a mortgage. If you want to listen to this. Patricia, by the way, Patricia knows more about oil and gas than I ever could hope to. She is the one who has really been behind the scenes pushing this tirelessly. And it's, you know, we always take credit for what the women do, don't we?
I don't mean to interrupt, Patricia. Part of my deal in moving out to California is that I commute for 2 days a week to teach my course at Pace and to try cases in New York. And I have a flight tonight from LAX that I'm rushing to catch. So I don't want people to think I'm rude for leaving. I urge you to stay and listen to what everybody says, and I want to thank you again for coming out here and spending time.
For those of you who are here, I wanted to just briefly update you on some of the things that are developing on the relocation front. I think you probably know that things have slowed down, and if not completely halted, if you're trying to relocate right now and you haven't already. We learned about this problem last week from one of our clients because they had a very ill 2.5-year-old, and we thought, what can we do? We've got to make things happen now. Now, one of the most important lessons I've learned in my life is when there's a problem, you need a captain. And you need a captain in your own home. And I want everyone to understand that you are captains of your ship. Now, that doesn't mean you like the water you're on every day, right? Captain sometimes has rough seas. And what do? You batten down the hatches, and you keep your crew with their morale high, and you steer that ship into a safe harbor. And I expect y'all to do that. Now, the first way we decided to try to figure out how to do that was trying to reach out to mortgage companies, because we understand that if you're told, well, we might be able to relocate you to a motel in 3 weeks, that doesn't save your family. So we reached out, and we were able to get Wells Fargo to commit, to be the first mortgage company to commit, that if you are relocating and you are in good standing with your mortgage, you can defer the payments while you're relocated. It will not impact your credit, okay? But this is being done, and they're going to be announcing it soon, but it's in order to give you the financial freedom to make the decisions to get your ship into the harbor you want to be safe for your family. And if there is any lesson the people of Porter Ranch have taught me, is that you lead your families to safety. Is that right? How many captains are out here? I want to hear, right? We expect you to be captains. Now, the other thing we've been doing is we understand finding a home.
Wait a minute before you go on. You have to call the number. It's not automatic. You have to call Wells Fargo, and they work with you on this and put you on the list. If you don't call, you're not going to be able to benefit from it.
Correct. And we are hoping to make this type of this deferment available to all of our clients with their mortgage companies, because we want you to be captains. Now, how do you find a new place? That's where we've started putting together a list of realtors who can help you and find a new place when you are stuck, and to help in that process of looking for a place. Because again, we recognize we have parents working, we have parents raising children, and you have the holidays. So trying to find a place to go is not easy. So we've been working with our clients, finding realtors. Brian and Christine Katz are two of the family that we've been helping that as the first test case to see what would happen. Because we said, look, work with a realtor, start leading your own ship, and see what you can do to find a new place. So we've been working very tirelessly to make that happen. They should be moving this weekend. Now, in the process of trying to find a new place, we recognize that there is a problem called price gouging, meaning that suddenly rent that was $3,000 is now $6,000. Now here's where you come in. Again, captains. The governor of California can declare a state of emergency and start preventing price gouging. How many people want to prevent price gouging? Okay, so that's an important part part of you as a captain of your ship to make sure you are not stuck in a situation where you're having price gouging. We can't prevent that alone. That's got to be us and working together to make that happen. Now, Brian and Christine are here. Let me just have a quick statement from them about what they've went through. I know you want to go. You can talk to them afterwards. But I just spent the day with Christine. I think she's seen me about 4 times over the last week. So here's Christine and Brian Katz.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you. It was a struggle. If it wasn't for Patricia and Robert, who honestly have treated us like family, and a bunch of the attorneys that we've signed up with, they're family. If it wasn't for them, and especially Danielle, we would still be looking for a place. And even now, we've started this in November, and we are hopefully praying that we get the keys this weekend. So it was a struggle, and thank goodness, hopefully we'll have a home and get this all resolved. So we just to reiterate, if you have questions and you want to know, you can talk to Brian and Christine up here. We are here to help you be a captain of your own ship.
Okay, thank you so much, Patricia. Before we open it up, Brian, good to see you. Christine, good to see you. Before we open it up for some questions and answers, I just want to introduce real quick Alex Nagy from the Food and Water Watch, and also Safe Porter Ranch. She's a big advocate. She's here to talk to you a little bit about what they're doing. Alex.
Hey everyone. So my name is Alex Nagy. I'm representing Safe Porter Ranch and Food and Water Watch tonight. How many of you have heard of Safe Porter Ranch? That's amazing, that's great. We were on the ground since day one, calling neighbors, holding meetings, going door to door, hosting protests outside the gas company gate to say you can't ignore this situation anymore, you have to be accountable to us. We were successful in getting our elected officials involved. All of our campaigning and exposing the Mercaptan was what eventually pushed the LA County Department of Public Health to issue that relocation order. And that is the power of grassroots organizing, that is the power of people working together to make change. So next step, now that we have the lawyers involved and they're taking care of you right now, we're campaigning to shut that facility down. And there are 3 reasons why, right? 3 reasons. The first is that facility is too old and too dangerous. On average, the wells are 52 years old, with many over 80 years old. And SoCalGas themselves, they admit they've seen a negative well integrity trend at their facility. They are reacting every year to well casing failures break. 1, they reported on in 2008. They saw 2 in 2013. By the way, they did cause the fire, the 2008 Cincinnati fire. So they've been a bad actor, they've been a bad neighbor. And this for them is just the cost of doing business. You relocating is just the cost of doing business. The second reason is that we know, as Robert Kennedy said, our regulators are captured. Our government officials are captured by the oil and gas industry. This is the most powerful corporation in the world, the oil and gas industry. They want to maintain their entrenched interests in having you maintain, your addiction to fossil fuels, right? And so any regulation that we pass, they fight every step of the way to make sure that it's good enough for them, which means our regulators never enforce it, which means regulations, just adding them on, isn't really going to help us. The only solution here is to shut it down, because if our regulators can't be held accountable to us, and if our government can't be held accountable to us, then let's shut it down. The third reason is we have the solutions to transition for a better future. We have the technology today to go 100% real clean energy in Los Angeles. And we can do it, but we need people on the ground demanding it. We need to continue to raise our voice and say, we can transition off of natural gas. Not tomorrow, not today, but we can do it, and we have to demand that our leaders come up with a plan. And so all of that to say is, please get involved with us at Food and Water Watch, at Safe Porter Ranch. We need to build the people power to take on the corporate power, the people who have taken over our democracy and destroyed our lives. We can do this if we continue to work together. Thank you.
Thank you so much.